Now, India's Prime Minister co-chaired the 17th annual India-ASEAN Virtual Summit along with the Prime Minister of Vietnam. The Prime Minister of India stressed on the importance of connectivity between the Southeast Asian nations. And WION's Siddhant caught up with the Vietnamese envoy to India, Pham Sanh Chau. Listen in to what he had to say.
So when it comes to ASEAN, India has been talking about ASEAN centrality. ASEAN has been looking forward towards India when it comes to various global challenges. So how do you see the coming together of the grouping and India? What do you expect from India as the chair of the ASEAN and if we talk about the ASEAN grouping as well?
I believe that India is a very important country. It's going to be a global partner for ASEAN. And as a global player, India will assume its responsibility in many fields. So we need to strengthen further the cooperation which has been in existence between ASEAN and India, and also between India and Vietnam. Now, when you talk about specific sectors, there remain a lot of things to be done. We can start with between ASEAN and India. We can improve the mechanism of Mekong Ganga. We can review the FTA. Between Vietnam and India, we can talk about people-to-people connectivity. We can talk about deepening our economic and trade relationship, which is very important to make sure that we will be able to reach the target set by the two prime ministers, namely $15 billion per year. So there are many things we can discuss together.
So the other big worry throughout the year has been aggressiveness by a certain country in the region, with India as well, with Vietnam as well. How do you see this challenge as of a country being very aggressive with both Vietnam and India?
In the world of growing uncertainty, we believe that respect for international law is the most important thing. So we call for all the countries to abide by international law, to try to abide by to the principle of peaceful negotiation of dispute, and try to exercise self-control in order to make sure that peace and security will be assured for the interests of the both countries, of all the countries in the region.
So my last question on connectivity front, India has been focusing on connectivity with the ASEAN region. We have the Kaladan multimodal project, but that's primarily with Myanmar. But we are trying to build road in ASEAN countries that can bring prosperity to ASEAN as well as our northeast. How do you see these infrastructure projects, and how Vietnam can be partner with New Delhi regarding this?
I believe that in order to bring the two sides closer together, and in order to materialize the Act East policy of India, infrastructure connectivity is very important. Recently, Vietnam has been able to establish the direct air link between India and Vietnam that add to physical connectivity and that help the movement of the two countries' peoples. Now, infrastructure connectivity is extremely important. We hope that one day there will be a highway connecting India, crossing various countries, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, in order to reach to Vietnam. So we are very optimistic about that day, but we need to work very hard because it's not easy when it comes to a project. But basically, that is a direction that we have to take in the future.
And so how do you see the Indo-Pacific concept? Because the ASEAN came out with its outlook on Indo-Pacific. India has been talking about a key stakeholder in the Indo-Pacific concept. So how do you, as Vietnam and as the chair of ASEAN, see this concept?
I think this concept has been tabled by ASEAN as the grouping. And one of the key factors of this concept, which is very similar to the Indo-Pacific initiative or vision of India, is that, number one, every country has to respect for international law, UN Charter, and especially UNCLOS. And number two, if in any evolving security structure in the region, ASEAN centrality should be observed and respected. And number three, anything happen, we need to return to peaceful settlement of all dispute through dialogue and consultation.
So a lot of things in focus, but thank you so much, sir, for giving time to us and talking about so many things, especially as the chair of ASEAN. So that was the Vietnamese envoy speaking to WION on several issues and also the close partnership, the strategic partnership between India and Vietnam. With video journalist Neeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibbal for WION in New Delhi.